So we'll see how active he wants to get depending on how you secure Duracho's lane. In regards to mid though, how do we feel like DK Primal? I feel like they're both going to be fine in regards to farm, but at least how I feel
thinking about that lane.
Wait, say that again?
I said I'm falling asleep thinking about that lane. That sounds like the most boring lane to watch.
I'm trying to think about what they do after the lane though, because DK is a hero that, like, you force people to stay in your lane, right? With the threat of the Elder Dragon form to take towers, and with Primal Beast is a hero that you rotate, and you rotate really fast. And I don't know if this is going to be different because of how active you are, just because you can get from lane and then back to mid at a quick rate. Because DK's always been known to be very good against those active heroes.
Yeah, I mean, I think in that regard, DK does have a bit of an advantage, especially if he can manage to win the CS battle. I'm not sure if he can win the CS battle, but if he can, and by that I mean he gets 6 before Primal gets 6, and you just rotate one support. Now this is kind of like how any DK matchup will go. If DK gets level 6 and the other mid kind of struggles and you rotate one support, the lane is just kind of done. And it can really just come down to like 3 or 4 denies, right? So that is something to really look out for. And of course, even the small things, as of just what happened right now, could be a difference maker. If you look at how much EXP Primal has compared to what Quinn has off of that Observer D-ward, that could be a difference maker. I'm like, one support coming mid and DK 6 and Primal still level 5 and 3/4. It can all add up. All these small things at this level of Dota really do matter.
Maybe they can get a kill to even a backyard. Steve Tofu's going to stick his head out with this ward. Of course, he's going to know there's multiple heroes nearby, so will not be the case. Very intrigued if Ori's going to do some crazy shenanigans with like the blocking his hero on top of the creeps, just to because of his portrait being so goddamn huge. Sometimes you just misclick onto the primal, so this could be a little bit frustrating for Quinn. So we'll see. Those are all those individual things that you just kind of learn over time and playing a hero at a lot. So you learn all these intricacies.
And he is doing exact that. But luckily for Quinn, the reason why this doesn't work as well in like the mid lane as opposed to off lane is most mid laners have a nuke, whereas like if they see a CS is impossible, they can just nuke it down. And there's also a little trick you can do as well too. Good deny there with the where you puts in there. If you A-click the ground and Primal Beast is standing on top of it, you'll actually attack a creep over the hero. So that is also another trick that could be used to just help you in small situations like that.
So now that we've got the mid lane out the way, like you said, you've fallen asleep thinking about it. We can take a look at some of the side lanes are gone. So they do actually put the Pugner up top. So still, we're going to have FY down bottom with the Shadow Shaman. Is this just level 2 and you go straight away on Gaimin Gladiators at the top lane?
You don't have to go right away. I think you just, as long as you're free farming, you're okay. The opportunities will arise for sure. You just got to wait for it. You shouldn't feel pressured to just have to go, but I think pretty soon here, once you get level 3, I think is ideal for Ace. Once you're level 3, I think for sure you just go every single time on the Terrorblade and at least force region out of him.
Bottom lane. Ark, who's in trouble at the moment? Duracho's falling pretty low as well as FY trying to get the kill. He might just feed as well. Duracho steps in the trees and Gaimin Gladiators find 2 kills in this bottom lane, and this is scary. If this lane goes really well, we are going to be able to see Celery get incredibly active on the Lash.
I mean, I just woke up, but this is the best Lash game I've seen so far all day. And it's coming from a pot 5.
Back to the support Lash days. I mean, we're seeing what like position 4 sometimes if you have like some setup like the classic like maybe Lash and Shadow Demon, but I guess this game you can kind of have the point click stun from Quinn eventually.
I wonder here, do these buffs to the Kobold matter? They're doing it. They're killing melee creeps now. I mean, that's like a lot of people probably looked at the patch notes and like, why do they buff these Kobolds? It's because when you single pull as a pos 5 and you get this camp, you're just like, I just got the worst camp in the game. Sorry guys, it's not gonna like deny any creeps whatsoever. Anyway, Lotuses are coming out. Who's getting them? Both are going to Gaimin Gladiators.
think we've it's very interesting, the development of stacks and pulls as a whole over Dota. We've seen, you know, kind of you have to double stack the small camp to be able to pull, and now very recently we've seen where people have just pulled to try and like get a half wave, right, or maybe even a range creep, because like you're saying, some of those small camps in Cobalt in particular, they can't kill anything.
Yeah. Well, they can now, I think, but they're still not nearly as good. They still need another update, I think. To
buff. I think Kobolds buff some of them. We're going to see people start to take over the Kobolds and have that as their Helm Dome creep instead. Some crazy stuff for them. They will rise up.
They need a new ability. They need to like... Oh, no, they need the Kobolds to do. I figured it out. They need to like have cleave.
Oh, cleave. Okay.
Yeah, cleave.
Oh. I said I'm from Ori. He's going to be able to snipe the water rune away from Quinn. This doesn't really need it from the Dragon Knight without a bottle. Bottom lane action will continue. FI is going to be able to hold the Slark down. That will help Bark be able to step out of some trouble. We are seeing, though, Gaimin Gladiators continue to play very aggressively into the Shaman and the Timber. Duracio has a crapload of essence to work with. Unfortunately, with the Blood Grenade at the last second. FI will be okay. Has to use his one charges.
Yeah, he's doing a good job trading. And I think they might stabilize his bottom, but the CS for the Slark isn't amazing. Like, he's doing okay. But if they can get another kill, that could be really big for them. And how much can this Lesh wreck? It feels like this Lesh is already doing a lot for the lane. Curious at level 4 what the build is. Does he put a point in stun at 4, or the days of leveling stun on Lesh over? Oh, he
I don't wonder what the item build is going to be. I have no idea what a position 5 Lesh is going to build.
He's probably just going to build normal POS 5 stuff. Arcane boots into probably some Glimmer, some Drum, whatever.
Hop lane, look. Still got the telekinesis left to work with. Gonna drag him out of that tower protection. Meanwhile, Tian Ming is just beating onto Tofu. This Pugner's gone uncontested. Tofu still had that Lotus to work with, but it's not gonna matter in the end. Of course, they will trade kills. Maybe Ace is a little bit happier. I mean, he gets a solo experience, gets the gold as well.
Oh, he's definitely happier, because the problem is Low can't come to the creep wave anymore. So he gets the kill plus free farm, where Low just, look at him, he just has to sit and observe. Ace take everything.
Just try and CS with a level 1 illusion.
Good luck.
Stuff's not even try and go for his own pull as well. So we'll get that to try and help out with the creep equilibrium. But we do have level 6 already for Moru, so that D-Ward not helping Quinn get his 6 early on. And oh, beautiful timing though. Tofu stops the charge through. Almost may have been enough to actually get the kill onto Quinn. Nonetheless though, we'll be able to secure that power rune. See what Aura is going to be able to do with it. Pulverize was used up in 20 seconds hard, but of course we always need to keep our attention around this mid lane with the Elder Dragon form on Quinn.
Oh, good scan. They scanned Ori going up to this top lane, and now Ace is going to instantly back out here. This would be a devastating kill if Ace did go down. But nonetheless, it did give space for Terrorblade to free farm, and Ace is just going to wander around. Wait for the dust to settle. As DK, he's probably going to pop his ulti and do a little bit of damage to this tower, but I don't think you're too sad if you're Ray here. You're not going to be able to do a whole lot as Quinn here. At best, you're just keeping Primal in play. Right?
Pretty good stun from Cellar to stop the Timber Champ, but now that Bark has got a couple extra levels along with FY, they will finally be able to kind of fight back. You're also seeing though, dude, Cellar's just giving them the treatment. Well, maybe he's stepped too far forward? I don't know, what's going on? Duracio doesn't...
Who cares?
Nah, he's chilling.
I mean, he's like daring them. Please, go on me. I've got level 2 Edict, I got 13 Stick and a Fairy Fire. There's nothing he can do. And level 6, by the way, on Dawn. You can't forget about this one. You always do forget about it, but you shouldn't forget about it. Alright, maybe these guys...
Rotation from Ori.
Where's he going?
He went to bot, didn't work out. I think the ward around the power and down bottom was able to scout him out. So that tower, I mean, decent chunk of damage, 800. First usage, the ultimate from Quinn.
Yeah, it was okay, but I think overall everything's fine. I mean, both mid laners right now are pretty neutral with how this is going. Maybe Ori's a bit happy. I'd say Ori could be happy.
You'd probably say Lowe's pretty happy with how the lane's gone as well, right? It sounded like you were expecting this to be much worse for the Terrorblade, potentially him coming out of the lane with a couple of deaths.
I mean, yeah, he's still down a considerable amount of net worth, but yeah, overall, he didn't feed. And I think a lot of that had to do with Tian Ming doing a really good job with the Nether Ward and harassing. Okay.
Yes, yeah, might have to solar out.
That was good.
It's just that
and
potentially
it's a kill for his troubles too. Oh no.
With the crit.
That is that's a feels bad. You know, like you commit your primal to go top, use this TP scroll, and then he TPs to another lane with his ultimate on Ace and he just gets a kill. Feels bad, man.
Feels bad. 3 rotations from Ori. Hasn't resulted in any kills off the back of this for the primal, so.
And he lost his tower for that too. In the mid lane.
Tower. And they're still sticking around. Ori, 1300 health they have to go through. See if they're going to have the damage though at the moment. Telekinesis drag back. He's fallen pretty low out of this primal beast. They need a little bit more and they're going to find it thanks to Cellar's lightning storm, and they'll retreat to their side of the river. In fact, Quinn, he's even thinking about stepping back over. FY vulnerable to the 3 members that Gaimin Gladiators have. They'll get in range. Stun sets up for Celery's. And another kill. 3,000 net worth lead. And again, we've spoken what Gaimin Gladiators have been able to do once they get these leads in the early game.
Yeah, and unfortunately for FY, it's looking like one of those 0-20 Shadow Shaman games on the road to it. I mean, it's 10 minutes. He's not level 6. He's 0-3-0. This is kind of like how it goes sometimes, the Shadow Shaman.
Yep.
He's going to need to, well, A, get some experience, because he just hit level 5. Not even close to that level 6 mark. And B, make something happen with that level 6. And they're going to give him mid, and Ori is going to go on the prowl here, but they're going to find a Leshrac with level 3 Edict. Is that what you want to run into? Probably not. And guess what's even worse? Celery is like 1 creep away from level 6.
They're going to smoke back down at bottom as well.
Okay.
See what they're going to be able to do off the back of the 60 from Celery. Even Duracio's nearby to offer some assistance. They will TP down on the Pugnut, but they just blow him up. Tofu with the Whirling Death. 4 points in the tree line. And Rubik is not too bad of a hero. He was speaking a lot about what he can still versus the Shaman in particular, but against the Timber as well, if you use his spells back onto him, that definitely could be devastating for his health pool.
There's some really good Rubik spells this game. He's holding one of them, but yeah, the Shackles is another good one, and of course, the Pulverize is going to be another really good Rubik ability that he has available. Got to keep an eye out for Tofu this game, because he can make lots happen with this Rubik.
And you've got the blink now on Quinn to be able to enable that. And then meanwhile, over to the right side, the chain up straight to where Duracho was already setting up. They will make it a little bit more messy though with the D-crap, but Radiant, dude, 5 heroes. Gladiators, what is this? 5 members in AR's territory? They're ready to fight. I mean, showcasing that this is the style that they want to have, not only in game 1, but game 2 as well. This time, you know, they won't convert onto any kills, so it is still a lot of resources brought down, but mid lane, FY, there is 1 kill close to the 20 mark.
I mean, 0-4-0, but he did get his level 6 from that. He got a little bit of farm. That death was good for him.
No ultimate. All right.
Yeah, he's dead.
And he is indeed. Tower's going to go their way as well.
I mean, it's the price you pay of being Duracio, you know? And the difference is, right? Like, you see 5 heroes converging on you. And last game, there's some anti-mage just farming. But Duracio is all in your face with Terrorblade. So some games, it'll get you some deaths. But the one thing he is good at is he'll always be aggressive. So you always feel kind of like outnumbered as the team feeling. Like, wow, their carry's so active and mine's just kind of AFK farming, right? So that's always some pressure that is put on you by having the Duracio factor. But sometimes you get the negatives of being aggressive too, and that'll just be your carry's dead.
Quinn maybe trying to force some reactions out.
Uh-oh.
Half Ori's health.
The damage.
Man, you got to be cautious about this Whirling Death. Ori, an aggressive onslaught, but is he going to be able to get away off the back of this, though? He does have FY even wanting to drop the ultimate as well. It's a pretty good Serpent Ward's block, and meanwhile, Ori got healed up as well from the Pugna, so he's potentially into fighting shape. They're just very hesitant at the moment, AR. They don't know whether to commit or back on over and just let this fight end. There's Quinn once again.
Okay.
An opportunity low, healed up thanks to Tianming. Now Aura's got to look to charge, and a quick sidestep with the Solar Guardian will keep Quinn in fighting shape, but now Aura is in no man's land. We'll get the slow to be able to help reset his position. Quinn's still ready to go, but it's given time for Bark to be able to rotate in case the fight does continue.
Yeah, that was a really long, drawn-out fight there. Not a whole lot happened there. But Dota2 was able to use the space to take the tier 1 on the top lane. He finished his Mage Slayer up. He's got 4 points in his queue. He's going to start picking his farm up, no problem. I think on the side of Gaimin Gladiators, I think it's chill time. You just used a lot there. You're going to do some Ancients. Oh, that was an Arcane Rune on the Elder Dragon, so actually they could smoke it up and go right now if they wanted. Probably a good opportunity.
And they will. There's a potential DD awaiting them down bottom. They got a pretty deep Observe Ward as well to the north jungle. They see no one there, so that should give them an idea of potentially maybe Azure being towards this right side of the map.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Spreading out a little. They don't have Solar Guardian though. That's the only spell that is not really available. It looks like they won't really find much of anything, but they did force Azure to kind of huddle up and stop farming so freely. Blink Dagger online for the Timber Salt now too.
Okay.
Radiant are scanning.
So Barky had a little bit more of a rougher laning stage with those 2 deaths, but Blink very shrink. It's always really nice, and of course into that Kai. So let's see if he's going to be able to provide the damage that they've been lacking so far and desperately needing. Only 3 kills at the moment for Azure. 3,000 deficit, nothing too crazy, but you've got to say this is a really scary moment in the game. It's that second nighttime. Duracio, of course, he's still needing one more component in the recipe, but once he has that, he's going to start to get very active with the team.
And without clicking on FY, what do you think he's building?
Oh, Blink, Aether. No, I didn't.
Okay.
I guess it's not them, so what? It's BKB maybe, or some like... I don't know,
you
what's
can
he
click on
doing?
him now. Click on FY.
No
What's he
way. No way he's going Midas Quinn. This would be a huge target if they're going to be able to blow him up. Solar Guardian repairs the damage, and Bark needs to get back into the middle. He will be able to do so to secure the kill, but it's both mid laners that go down. But I mean, we see how low Ace is currently. Finally, a fight goes semi-well for Azure. Yes, it's a 1-for-1, but Low is in a perfect position to be able to capitalize it and maybe bring this tower down with the meta.
That was a great smoke initiation. Got on the exact target they needed. FY played that fight really well too. He used his wards. Oh, they can walk up and be a little more aggressive too.
And with Bark
Another
nearby,
catch.
they're getting so much value out of the blink early on. But the mechanism, it's not enough. But they still... FY? What? He stepped... No way. FY lives as well. They also get Celery. Steps in a little hidey hole. And now they're also going to try and chase down Ace. Will not be able to catch up to Quinn. Actually, hold that thought. Jumps over the top. Quinn? This is a Timbersaw versus Strength Hero, Quinn. Oh. It's not going to work in your favor. No, Ace, he also gets baited a little bit too. What is going on? Azure, this is an incredible sequence of events for them. They won't get Ace, very close to it being an incredible fight for them in the end, but nonetheless, they cut this lead only down to 1,000.
Oh, is he baiting or? I'm not sure. All right, they're disengaging. I think that's a wise choice. But as the action settles down, I do respect this a lot from FY, just going the Midas. I talked about how Shadow Shaman is a hero that needs to get farm, right? And he realized his game was bad. He decided to kick his mid laner out so he could farm a couple waves. He's like, this still isn't good enough for me. The only way I can come back into this game is through the power of the hand of Midas. And he picks it up. So he is going to come back into this game without a doubt in my mind.
I'm so intrigued on what tier 2 neutral items he got as well. He went for the specialist array. So
Yeah,
I really
helps him
wonder
farm.
what... yes, of course, the attack speed with minus and also what the 18 damage he's getting from it. Celery... Oh, I actually don't want to lose the Leshrac. Solar Guardian into the middle. That is so much damage with a support Lesh onto Ori. I mean, there's 2 fights breaking out simultaneously. Durachu had to activate the Shadow Dance. It's like he's going to be okay, though, for the moment. Still, Barker's in fighting shape. So aggressive he's going to be able to continue to play, especially with that Kai completed off the back some of the bounty gold.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
There's a lot of poking and prodding in this game, and this has really favored one team specifically, and I think it's Azure, because if you notice the one person that has not been involved in this running back and forth shenanigans, it's Low. He's just free farming on Terrorblade. He's up to his Manta style now. Or he's not going Manta, he's going Scotty, so he's going to have his Scotty very soon.
Ori's going to reveal the blink onto the Dawnbreaker. Prime target with no one nearby. Very nice. Azure. Another big kill for them.
I think a big problem this game is the Dawnbreaker ult has not been enough to keep Quinn alive. Like, normally when you see Dawn ult on a hero, it's like, it's just enough to keep that hero alive, right? And you can turn, but like, he's been trapped inside of Serpent Wards because he didn't go for phase boots. Maybe he's regretting not having phase boots at this point, playing their Shaman, but he's been trapped in there a lot, and Dawn ult has not been able to save him, and of course this Timber's been making his life absolute hell with the amount of damage output he has been doing here. But there is a silver lining here, I suppose, for the Dawnbreaker. She does have 3.2k gold, going for a Radiance. So trying to be a core here.
Okay. Gaimin Gladiators, what can they do? Some momentum has been building for Dire. I mean, it's a great spot for them to fight with the high ground. They get the jump on Tian Ming, and now FY is caught in the river as well. Both supports killed off without mercy, but I mean, this is a Scotty timing for Low, and he is feeling ready to fight. You've got also Ori waiting the wings. Bjark's going to be able to get the jumper in the middle, so they deal with Ace, but still Duracho. Oh, Sunder actually keeping Bark alive, but it means that Low needs to be cautious. Sunder's going to get stolen, but it's not enough. Quinn will go down, and now you've got no stuns nor spells to be able to stop the Primal Beast, nor the Timber to be able to deal with the remaining members. You will get the kill onto Low, so pretty decently done from Tofu, but still Ori pulverized at the ready. Bark's going to come flying in, jumping over the top. A triple kill for your Timbersaw, and they might even get Celery as well. Nice TP out, will just escape at the buzzer. But Azure, these fights had been building up. They are now the ones with the net worth lead.
And Low has been the most sacrificial Terrorblade with these Thunders I've seen from, well, I would say anyone, but Duracho's the other guy who's really sacrificial to his Thunders. Playing against him, kind of like picking up where he left off on that one, but he's using a lot of Thunders to save his allies in these fights, and I think he's got to start being a little bit careful with that. I don't know how many more Thunders he's got left in him for his teammates, and to the point where he's going to have to start using them for himself exclusively, as they will be going for the Tormentor here. Pick up a shard for, well, it would be great on Shadow Shaman. I think FY is crossing his fingers with that Midas. He'd love a free shard with it. And what do you know? Goes straight to FY. When FI calls for something, he gets it.
Can't blame him. FI God, he can help get the boys over the finish line sometimes. Look like a really good start for the fight for Gladiators. I mean, firstly, you're taking a fight around the river where there's no trees for the Timber to work with. You kill the Pugnut, you kill the Shaman straight away. But it just goes to show currently how strong the three cores are at the moment with Azure. And especially, again, that Skadi. We didn't really speak about it a lot just because it got picked up before that fight. But against the sustain from the Dragon Knight, the Dawnbreaker, it's going to have a lot of value in this game.
It definitely will. It's a really good Skadi game. Is there any other item he really needs? He might need a BKB. Not sure if that's entirely true, but I think the only reason I'm saying he might need a BKB is because of Tofu, really. You never know what Tofu's going to steal in this particular game. And if you end up like hexed and shackled on top of a Dawn ult, and you're not able to right-click some of these heroes down, that could be problematic.
Could be frustrating. You have the Ag shot on Leshrac as well, so just the split earths littering the team fights. could be very difficult for him to be able to continue to freely right-click. You are going to have an Aegis now. So we will see if it's going to be low that's going to grab it. And
No, I don't think so.
okay, Buck's going to get it.
It's just TB never feels good with
Radiant's
Aegis.
bottom tower is under attack.
This feels like you have the Aegis, you die. Either you don't use your meta, and you're like, I wish I was using meta now, or you die with meta on. You're like, well, this second life doesn't really feel very good. Putting on a hero like Timber, I think it's the right choice. He just goes in, does as much damage as he can, and guess what? When he dies, he can still output damage. So I agree with that. The only time I think you give it to TB is when you want TB to hit high ground.
Gonna Timber. Hand in hand with their fight at the moment. Combining down bottom. They're going to see Quinn in the lane. They've got the Solar Guardian, but we've seen previously it hasn't been enough health to be able to keep Quinn alive. Is it enough this time, however? Need another round of spells coming through, and meanwhile, Azure, everyone else shows up out of nowhere. You got Ori and Tianming just in case to be able to offer their assistance, and that is exactly what they need. Buck, he died twice in the lane, but ever since then, he's gotten 8 kills in a row, and it's been pivotal as to why Azure have this 4,000 net worth lead.
Oh, for sure. 2 games in a row where this Timber versus Flesh matchup has been going the Timber's way. 2 godlike Timber stalls in a row. Now, this new buff
Bottom tower has
to
fallen.
Timber Stall is exactly what he needed, right? Just a more spell amplification for a hero that already one-shots you.
And you got to say, interesting, a hero that didn't really get touched as well in the patch. Flamethrower nerf, very cool. Definitely what made him very strong in the last patch.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a Timber buy a Flamethrower at all in the last match, actually. I think the only time they got it is when they got off the Tormentor.
The Rajo in trouble. Shadow Dance used. Pounce back up shortly. Into the TPR. Ori not able to get there in time.
Slark is one of the heroes, though, that had to for sure got hit the hardest. Other than, like, maybe Meepo. They made it so his Pounce is 2 seconds longer cooldown. Which is big, because when you add the Shard on top of it, like, both those are 12. And every item he buys is nerfed. Gotta be rough to be a Slark fan right now.
You a Slark enjoyer?
No, I hate that hero.
Okay.
I mean, no, I love Slark before the new Ags. And then I didn't play Dodo as a carry for that era, so I don't use the Ags as well as a lot of the other Slark players. So I was like, F it, I'm not going to play this hero. It'll get nerfed next match.
And all
And
of a
it
sudden it just sticks around.
Dire's middle
I mean, it did get nerfed.
Ori. They're going to be able to catch up. Looks like Quinn might be left behind. What's the call? He's going to do his best to protect him with the Solar Guardian. They'll reset out of the beacon. But Ori, under the cover of the beacon, still chase down the Dragon Knight. Now further to the north as well. Ace tries to deal with the Pugna, but Gaimin Gladiators just... all these fights are not going their way, and it really hasn't been close as Ori catches up to another. They've got Bark nearby to offer the remaining damage required to deal with Celery, and this game is really starting to get out of control. Wait, the gem dropped. They won't be able to get it. Oh, does he want to go back through? Never mind.
He didn't notice fast enough. He could have got out right away, but fortunately, it's going to be a little bit of missed opportunity here. But losing fights at nighttime versus a Slark is really, really sad.
courier has been killed.
It kind of puts you in a situation like, we can't fight now. When can we? Is Thrashi's just going to snipe quarters in the background? I mean, that helps. That's good. Is it enough? Hard to say. But I was going to say that Tianming on this Pugna has been doing so much work in these team fights. It's actually unbelievable. Like, they want to kill him right away, but they don't have the damage right now. Racho is going to be going on to low here, but...
he's still got meta. Ages for 45.
Okay. It's crazy, man.
Maybe they want to spot eye out Tofu, and Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
Where'd he go?
For support versus Timber versus Primal. Where did he go indeed? No Tofu for 40 seconds, and I might poke this high ground.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's going to be a little more than a poke. They're going to walk bottom as that tower is even lower. When did that tower get so low? I don't remember this.
No, I don't remember.
I think
either.
FY probably did. You probably didn't notice.
Ori jumping on the Dawnbreaker. There's nothing that Gaimin Gladiators can do. It's always been the Dawn that's offered the potential assistance to keep heroes alive, but no one else has got that opportunity to do it for himself, and he doesn't have a buyback as well, so this will be a full set of barracks that goes down, and they're even going to look over to mid lane as well.
Well, they don't have any creeps. This is a bit awkward. They committed they committed the wards on Shaman, not realizing that their mid wave isn't quite there. Because they entered through mid wave, right? And they went bottom, so someone just pushed out mid. They never had a bottom wave. Not a big deal. I mean, I think FY was just like, whoops, and that was it.
Wait,
moving on.
I just looked at his net worth. I mean, sure, it's the minus, but and the A shot given over to him. But how is he this close to the Dawnbreaker?
Well, he hasn't been dying in the team fights, right? And if we've noticed, yeah, of course, like the Midas has definitely been helping, and same with the Ag Shard. But it's mainly just he doesn't die in the team fights. And Gaimin Gladiators, they're dying in the team fights. I don't remember the last team fight where Gaimin Gladiators were able to take a fight. Like, they maybe kill a Pugna or something, but that's the end. And look at FY right now, he's just farming. Like, he knows what he needs to do on Shadow Shaman. Stack Ancients, farm, get where he needs to go. I think this is like what makes a difference between an experienced Shaman player and an unexperienced one, because this hero's greedy, without a doubt, very greedy. And you just got to play your hero the way it's meant to be played. The moment you start playing him sacrificial, that's when this hero looks really bad.
He's going for Octarine. All right.
He has a dagger. I got a dagger.
For a second. Once again, Ori and Bark in combination together. This has been... The difference from the first half of this game to the second half is crazy. Ori's rotations to start the game just didn't result in any kills. It must have felt so awful for the Primal base going from top to bottom, you know, back and forth, not being able to help out at all the side lanes that weren't going well. And then as soon as Bark got the blink, the game completely turned on its head.
Yeah, it definitely did. There's just a couple fights in a row. And I'd even say that Tian Ming and FY, the first team fight, oh, hold on to that. There's a team fight going on here.
How do you execute it though for GG? You're down 17,000. You need a backline stab. That's where Duracho is going to come into play. Trying to poke and prod. Still a little bit essence. Going to make sure you don't get blown up inside that ultimate. We'll find the pounce away, but of course this is put on cooldown. You do have Ace back alive. What is the call? How do you go back in now?
Oh, that Pugna, go blast it. Okay, this is getting really aggressive. They know meta's going down. I think they want to go.
And they will jump in. Ace, I mean, might just get blown up from 4 to 0. They're also controlling Tofu. Buy back into the ultimate. Is it going to be enough to keep them alive? Because Bark is in fighting shape. Meanwhile, they got the Hex onto Duracho. A quick timing out of the pounce gets himself to safety, but Azure, what's the call? Because you're fighting without Metamorphosis. Is the 18,000 net worth lead enough to brute force the high ground? And they will pay some respect.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It would have been nice if they could have got that last barracks, but they realized in Dota, it's never worth feeding for a barracks. The creeps just aren't strong enough, you know? You get a barracks, but it feels like you being dead for 60 seconds is enough time for the other team to, you know, barracks you back or force a buyback, and now you created a win condition for the other team that otherwise wasn't there. So more times than not, it's always safe to just play it safe.
Oh, Quinn.
Oh, quick
timing out of the Glimmercape. We'll be able to respond though nonetheless. We're already hunting for more, but Bark has been able to reposition accordingly. Is that... I was going to say, is that their first kill in a while? But they did get the Pugna in that previous fight, so...
Yeah. They have not been getting many kills, but they have killed the supports a couple of times, but not nearly enough. And that's why the net worth is what it is. Slark isn't a hero that can keep up with Terrorblade and farm. It just isn't going to happen. So you have a free farm plus losing team fights, and that's how you get a deficit like this. And the shard will go to the Pugna this time. I mean, I suppose it could have went to the Primal.
Speaking of Primal, wait, what? Okay, didn't get the onslaught away.
That's the
I
gem,
didn't see the end.
actually.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice pickoff. How much essence you got now? 21. Can they make something else worth of it? I mean, this is where you really look to try and snowball as best as you can. Maybe they can make a play through the portal. It looks like Dire kind of even sniffing this one out as a potential. They did scan this area.
Well, the timing's not right because the way you snowball games with Slark is during nighttime because you get bonus night vision, and that allows you to like take fights where you just can't be seen. You just have that extra cloak on top of like your other abilities that also cloak you. That makes it very frustrating to play against. So even though you do get that kill, I guarantee if it was nighttime, Slark would have ran across the map. But generally speaking, most Slark players during the day they kind of just want to chill, farm, and at night they want to go full killer instinct. But Roche is up, so they might not have a choice but to make something happen right now. And the portal play is gonna be risky. Ace and Tofu want to go on the portal, but Low is just standing on top of it with a Daedalus.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh, Dyrachyo? Well, he's going to give them some of that information. And yeah, it looks like they're actually going to TP in instead. So Tofu not even going to risk going through the portal. Because you have that potential of the Solar Guardian from Ace to always be able to join them. But they're going to force their hand. AR will just pop meta and walk into Roche. Quinn will be able to scout though. Jump in, Bark, FY. Going to get the initiation onto the Rubik. There's a response out of the Solar Guardian. They'll be able to hold him down into places. Ace protected momentarily, trying to dodge down to the south. Meanwhile, Dyrachyo's attempting to deal with the backline, but without anyone to enable him, it's an attempt that's going to go wayward as Dyrachyo continues to try and escape. Meanwhile, they've also caught up to Quinn as well. 3 members from AR. He's going to be able to TP out. Meanwhile, though, it's 2 supports that almost killing Dyrachyo. Somehow is able to get the ultimate off at the last second. They will continue to chase him down. FY with the blink back up and the shackles. Nice timing out of the Dark Pact. It's like Dyrachyo is okay. We're seeing Dyrachyo is recognizing he's got to deal with the supports. He needs to make chaos, but he just doesn't have anyone else to play with him.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard at this point. The Dragonite just... maybe if the Ags will help, but the Ags is so severely nerfed. So, okay, so you will have Ags on Quinn very soon here, and level 18. So you're going to get +2 levels in Dragon form for this next fight. Which, will it be enough? That's going to be the big question. But without a doubt, that is a huge increase in strength, right? You went from level 2 Dragonite ult to level 4, just like that.
See how
but I don't know if it still deals with them.
Yeah, 18k lead. Again, Age is given over to the Timber. Dyrachyo is continuing to poke with that nighttime like you were mentioning, and now with the gem as well. You kind of have to deal with your base. I guess that's where Ace is able to come into play. He's almost got Scepter 2. He's going to be able to buy it before this fight, because you might have to just stand your ground here with the Cliff Ward.
No, it'd be really big versus Terrorblade. He has no way of cutting through evasion, so... Did he get on Courier? He did. And the Courier made it safely, too. Yeah, level 4 DK ult and Scepters. Could be good.
That's a great target. Starting on to FI. They want to try and deal with the supports first. Decrep's going to protect the Shadow Shaman. Solar Guardian early on as well. They will still be able to assassinate FI. Now, what's the call afterwards? Ace just gets ripped apart. The red crits are too much for them to handle. Low will turn to Celery next as well. As Memal over to the right side. Dyrachyo almost gets Ori, but the cheese eaten at the last second. It was a nice attempt. The last one at that. They killed off FY. They almost got a call, but it was not enough.
I think the Solar Guardian... I mean, I don't even know if they win that fight, but I feel like that Solar Guardian is a little bit early.
Dyrachyo? Seeing FY off the buyback into the outpost, but he might be in some trouble. Ori still has the Pulverize. Perfect duration of the stun lock. And the G's are going to be caught as well. As for our third series of the night, it will be a 1-1.